Everything in your life is always working out for you. Now, do you flinch when you hear that, or do you genuinely believe what I just said? Today, I want to talk more about mental navigation and how to really turn your failures into rapid personal evolution faster than you ever thought possible. Welcome, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here to help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, is all there, ready and waiting to be activated by you, through you, and for you. If that sounds good, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join us on the channel. Who am I? I'm Jess. I'm a manifestation coach and a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner, which is a fancy way for saying I'm a personal trainer for your mind. I want you to live your best life. I really do. And if you want to work with me and move through a lot of these concepts that I talk about, details are in the description box. I am available for coaching. And there's also a tool down there that I hand out for free with every video. It's always available, and it is there to help you evolve, do exactly this, to reprogram yourself. Everything is always working out for you because everything is you. Your perspective on everything that is happening in your life, whether it's looking outside to the 3D and judging what's happening, whether it's thoughts you're having in your head, whether it is dreams you're having at night, whatever you are perceiving comes from three things, the three components we talk about constantly on this channel. Your attention, right? Where are you directing your senses? That's attention. Narrative, what story are you telling about this? And your habits, what behaviors automatically come up when you are on a certain place on your mental map. Cutting edge cognitive science is showing us that the brain thinks in terms of maps, period. It's this overarching strategy the brain uses. It uses cognitive maps for physical location. So when you drive your car somewhere and you're going around town, you have a cognitive map, a representation of where things are so that you can get around. In your mind, the same neurons are activated when you're moving around thoughts, ideas, and concepts. So you also have an analog that's abstract. It's just in your mind, that when you move around your mental map, you're actually navigating. You're doing the same thing. You have a cognitive map of thoughts and ideas and flavors and emotions, and there's boundaries and there's walls and there's different areas. There are different neighborhoods on your map that you visit, more, some of them very frequently, just like areas of town you go to a lot. Your triggers are the areas of town you go to a lot on your mental map. You have well-worn neural pathways there. Meanwhile, areas of your map you don't visit very frequently, they feel very far away. There's a spatial quality to it. When you're moving around your map over the course of a day, you are adjusting these three components, your attention, your story, and your habits. These things are adjusting, and this creates movement around your mental map. This movement is always you. These are always your representations. We're never actually interacting with 3D reality. We're interacting with the representations of 3D. We get caught with the attention part is a data point. We get a data point about something. We get a bill in the mail, as an example. And we tell the story. I wasn't expecting this bill. Oh my gosh, it came out of nowhere. So that story triangulates us. The data point of the bill gave us something to anchor to, and then we triangulated that bill somewhere on our mental map with the quality of our story. We told a story that was slightly negative of like, I wasn't expecting this. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to pay this. I don't have the extra money that much. Do you feel that? Okay, so that story triangulated us somewhere on our mental map, which probably is a neighborhood similar to Victimville. It took us down to Victimville, that bill. And so when we are in Victimville, we then have a version of ourselves that comes out automatically. We have practiced it so many times. There are emotional and behavioral responses that automatically happen when we position ourselves on our mental map in Victimville. So we complain about it. We go complain about the bill to our friends. Oh my God, I can't believe I got this bill. This was so unexpected. What am I going to do? And we sit there for hours and talk about it with them. And then there are emotional responses of fear, worry, anxiety about how I'm going to pay this. So it's like a whole package deal of where we are in our mental map. What we're actually talking about then are perspectives. We are talking about perspectives. So wherever we are on our mental map, we will have a certain perspective. Just like when we're out in physical reality and we go to a certain GPS coordinates, we will have a certain perspective. We will be able to see maybe some trees, a couple of houses, a little bit of the landscape. But if we moved, let's say, a mile down the road, our perspective is going to be different from that point. This is exactly what we do in our own mind. The minute we move, this is why we're told to tell a different story. Tell a different story, because that triangulates us somewhere else on our map. We calibrate by location. I keep saying this. Wherever we are on the map, we believe that is the absolute truth of the situation. We put on these blinders, and it's very hard to see from any other perspective from where we are standing on our mental map. Let's take the example of being at one point out on the street, seeing some trees, a couple of houses, a little bit of the landscape. We take that at face value. We say, this is what I see. I see some trees. I see some of the houses down the street. I see a kid playing in his driveway. That's what I see. That is the truth of the situation. But is it? That's the truth from that perspective. From that perspective. You are all these perspectives. And so if we want to get a different perspective, if we want to have a different truth, if we want to change how we feel about something, if we want to look at our failures, if we were to be standing in that point with the few trees and the houses and say, yeah, but I want to go mountain climbing, and we don't see any mountains, that can feel like a failure, like lack, like it's not there. And from that perspective, we'll feel victimized. Well, the mountains aren't there. I don't see them. This is always what people say to me in coaching. I don't see it. It's not there. It's because you need to move. You need to move on your map. If you moved a mile down the road, you would see the mountain. The mountain is right there. It's behind the trees. But from that perspective, you cannot see it. Where you are, where the kid's playing in his driveway and there's some houses, it's residential. But a mile down the road, the mountain is right there. There's a beautiful mountain range behind the trees. Maybe there was a house in the way at that original perspective point. There was a house in the way. You couldn't see the mountain, but it's there. Doesn't mean it's not there. It was there the whole time, but our inability to see it, our inability to look beyond the perspective we are standing in, prohibits our belief. We calibrate from where we are. From where we are, we're in a residential neighborhood. This is a failure. I'm not mountain climbing. Yeah, from that perspective, you are. So this is what we have to do. The lesson to be learned here. We're going to wrap it back in. In every failure, in every disappointment, in every challenge you have ever had, in any adversity you have faced, the lesson is always the same. Move. Change your perspective. Change your perspective on it, because everything is always working out for you. Behind the scenes, it is all working out for you because it is all you. All of these perspectives are you. Your ability to move to a different perspective allows you cognitive flexibility. That cognitive flexibility is the lesson. The lesson is look at it from a different angle. Look at it from a different perspective. Find the jewel. There's always a seed. There's a seed of something interesting, worthwhile, expansive in every situation that you face. But if you stay in the same perspective where there's just the trees and the houses and the kid playing in the driveway, and you judge it as a certainty of, well, I never made it mountain climbing, this was a total failure. Meanwhile, there's a kid in the driveway playing hopscotch that would love to play with you. And if you took the time to play with him, you're like, hey, buddy, let's play hopscotch. And he's like, my dad is a mountain climber. He loves to go mountain climbing. There's the gem. We lose sight. We want to predict how things are going to unfold. We've been told so many times, let go of the how, let go of the how, let go of the how. That's because you limit yourself. You limit your perspective by fixating on how you think it's supposed to play out. You think the mountain's supposed to be right in front of you. When in fact, that little boy, his father was going to go mountain climbing with you, and then you had a buddy to go mountain climbing with. And you had a really good trail. And you knew the way because he lived nearby. He lived near the mountain. He went up there all the time. This is the hidden lesson. The lesson in all of your failures and all of your challenges is to move, expand your perspective, see the hidden gem in the situation. So many times we can see it in hindsight. This is why they say hindsight is 2020. Is looking back, we can see the bigger picture of things because we're not so fixated on where we are then in that moment. We're not so fixated on trying to get somewhere and trying to accomplish a goal and trying, that trying energy. We can get a bigger picture perspective in hindsight because it's done in time. We can look back and say, wow, yeah, I can see how that all fit together. I can see how that really benefited me. I can see how that led me to the thing that I was trying to get to. I can see how engaging with that little boy playing in the driveway took me to my mountain climbing. And what a fun surprise. And then this is the fun, surprising, exciting part of life that most of us miss out on because we're trying to we got a chokehold on how it should go with our prediction. Everything is always working out for you because all of your perspectives are here and now, So the lesson is always to change your perspective on the situation. Learn the lesson. Find the golden nugget. Be open. And it's all about learning that your problems, your challenges are only problems and challenges and pain and suffering because that's where you're remaining. You're remaining there to suffer. You are judging them as suffering. You are labeling them as, yep, that's suffering. That's a failure. That's it. And in doing that, you're staying put. You are staying put in your perspective. Whereas if you softened up a little bit and were like, I'm willing to see this in a different way. I'm willing to be open to the experience. I am willing to play with this little boy and know I'm going to get to the mountain. And then that's when the little boy mentions, oh, my dad, he's mountain climbing today over there on that mountain. Do you see it? That's when suddenly our perspective shifts. As our story of, in that moment, I couldn't see the mountain. It's not there. This isn't going to happen. This is a failure, turns to the mountain was always there. And now I have a guide to the mountain. And suddenly, a few minutes later, you're staring at the mountain and the dad's walking down and saying, hey, you want to go mountain climbing with me? It's a very simple example, but the lesson is always to change your perspective. Evolve faster than you ever thought possible with cognitive flexibility. With cognitive flexibility, where you are is not a catastrophe unless you label it like that, unless you label it, because your belief in it, your belief in the catastrophe, if you stood there and you didn't talk to that little boy and you looked around and you're like, it's not here. And you folded your arms, you're like, it's not here. That's where you stay. That is the perspective then that you stay in. And it hurts and it doesn't feel good. And it feels like failure. And it's disappointing. And you may stay there for years. You may stay there for years, for a really long time. Continuing to fold your arms and say, but it's not here. It's not here. It's because you're not moving. It's because your perspective is the lesson. Change your perspective. Allow it to flow how it needs to flow. Let go of control. Your perspective changes when you change your attention, when you tell a different story, or you change your habit. So for example, your attention in the moment with the little boy, you say, I know I'm a mountain climber. This is all going to work out just fine. And then you end up playing with the little boy and he shows you the way. Your attention changed. Your attention shifted from this is a failure to I'm just going to relax and be present in the moment. I'm going to be present and be open to whatever comes my way. The story can change of I don't see the mountain right now, but I know it's here and I know I'm going to get to it. I know it's here and I know I'm going to get to it. And then maybe you wander down the road. I know it's here. I feel it. I can feel it in my soul because that's what a want and a desire is. It's a feeling in your soul of a certain perspective of being able to stand in the shoes of the person who has it. So you start walking down the road a little bit and then through the trees and the houses. Oh, suddenly there's a peak. There's a peak. You see it. Oh my God, there it is. There it is. Your story changed. Instead of this is a failure, I am staying here, fixed perspective. Loosen the perspective. And that you move. You just moved on your mental map. You moved somewhere else. Your habits, let go of the habit. Let go of the habit. Many of us have habits of seeing things very negatively. This is a disaster. This is a catastrophe. This is not working out the way I planned. This habit of story, of framing things a certain way, that even if it is going right, you're still going to frame it that way, and you're going to miss the bridge because you're so fixated on just habit. You're just letting the habits play out, crossing your arms, being upset, saying this is a failure. We miss it. Evolve faster than you ever thought possible. You can do this. Learn the lesson, and the lesson is always change your perspective. Change your perspective. Move on your mental map. Move out of victimhood. Try optimism for a while. Try this. Everything's working out for me. Try it on. Try it on. Make it a habit. Make it a new habit instead of pessimism and catastrophizing and suffering and torturing yourself. Try a new habit of saying, you know what? There's some hidden advantage. And the fun part is I'm going to go find it. I'm going to go find it. That's a new habit. That's a new story. It's everything that catches your attention. You're going to act that out, and you're changing that habit loop, reprogramming. So everything is always working out for you. It's just your resistance to seeing it that way. And the minute that you change your perspective, the view will change. Different resources will emerge. Your perspective is you. You are your perspective. Change where you are in your mental map. Shift it slightly, shift it greatly, and see the value that is there in every perspective. See the worthiness of every perspective and be willing to move instead of digging down and hunkering down and refusing to go anywhere. That adherence to that perspective is what is causing you not to see the things that you want to see. Let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below. I'm happy to engage with you, and grab that free tool. Use it to change your perspective. You can do this. I'll see you in the next video.